I consider myself Asian American, and then a subset of that being Pakistani American. I love my heritage because I think it's rich and vibrant and layered.
Hearing the stories of my mom and my grandparents, immigration, and how they wanted a better life for her entire family.
I'm Vietnamese American, and I was adopted when I was 5 months old. And as a kid, my mom, she tried encouraging me to learn more about my culture.
My mother being Japanese and my dad being from America, there's always this idea that, you'd have to pick a side of culture. You're not losing one culture or the other, you're actually gaining two.
The Asian American and Pacific Islander, or AAPI, population in the United States is diverse.
For Native Hawaiians and Pacific Islanders, as America grew geographically, where they lived became part of the United States. Asian Americans are more than 20 million people in the US who trace their roots to countries in East, Southeast Asia, and the Indian subcontinent.
And growing at a rapid rate, 81% in 19 years, with the population expected to surpass 35 million people by 2060.
Those who immigrate into the US are a group that have different starting points. Those leaving as refugees, those who are coming to have better opportunities to work in the US, those who are joining their families who did immigrate into the US.
It's what Russell Jung, professor of Asian American Studies at San Francisco State, intimately understands from stories passed down through his family.
My family settled in Monterey, California in the 1860s, lived there for 4 decades until their landlord evicted them.
Jung says they were forced off their land because of anti-Chinese sentiment.
A mysterious fire burned down the entire village. The landlord then fenced off the area so the Chinese couldn't return. Consequently, my great-grandparents had to move to San Francisco Chinatown as the only place of refuge.
It's a pattern of bigotry that's been repeated over decades.
In the 19th century, when diseases came from Asia, Chinese were blamed for it. It goes on to Japanese American incarceration during World War II. This threat of Asians as being outsiders and dangerous continued after 9/11, so that South Asians, Muslims, and Arab Americans were attacked and faced racist policies due to Islamophobia.
More recently, in the past year, anti-Asian hate crimes reported to police in 16 cities jumped a staggering 164%, spurring Russell to launch Stop AAPI Hate in partnership with the organizations Chinese for Affirmative Action and the Asian Pacific Policy Planning Council.
I asked my 94-year-old mom about the anti-Asian violence that we've seen perpetrated against our elders. I asked, what would you do now? And she said now, I guess I would only go to Clement Street, which is the Chinese ethnic enclave. Over centuries past, but just like my great-grandparents, my elderly mom has to retreat to a Chinese neighborhood to protect herself from American racism. Things really haven't improved.
Good morning. Breaking news. Deadly rampage. 3 shootings overnight, all at Atlanta area massage parlors.
Alice Soy, an elementary school teacher and activist in New York, channels her anger into action, taking a stand against the hate.
The day after the shooting, one of my 4th graders called me China to my face in front of the entire 4th grade class that I was teaching at the time. That also made me just so upset. I spoke to the entire 5th grade afterwards, and I said, sometimes things that you hear or might find out are not true. And it's hurtful to blanketly mark an entire group of people based on just one thing you've heard that's unfounded.
Alice doesn't leave the conversation in the classroom. She speaks out at rallies against AAPI hate.
Will it be me or my mom? You shut down out the concrete floor. What if I spoke up? How you like that? I'm dynamite. I'm a firecracker and I won't be typecast. I won't.
Some famous faces have been sharing a similar message.
And as an Asian American, I can tell you that my family and so many other families, we come and we add to the fabric of this country and we make it stronger, we make it better.
To encourage understanding.
We may have very distinct and unique histories in the United States, but one thing we all have in common is that we've suffered as minorities here.
We have people being attacked. We have people who are just fighting for their lives. And now everything that we do, has a deeper purpose to it.
It's so important for us to be outside, for our pain to be heard and acknowledged. And I think that when we show up in droves at rallies across the United States, the world is seeing a message that we do matter, that we do take our place as Asian Americans, and we're proud.
Proud of our culture, proud of our traditions, and proud of who we are.
Hey, thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Find your favorite recipes, celebrity interviews, uplifting stories, shop our favorite deals, and so much more with the Today app. Download it now.